Started rewatching some testimony from the Karen Reed trial. Jen Mccabe. Everyone's favorite was Jen Mccabe. Day 14, she comes in right after Matt. All of day 15, half of day 16. About 2 minutes in, I'm like, maybe I should get my notebook because she's saying a lot of stuff that's kind of confusing and I can't really keep track. I remember homegirl goes over the span of 3 days. 16 minutes in. Here are my takeaways. First thing I noticed is how much she fronts. She's talking about coaching her daughter's teams, the basketball coach. But then she goes in and she goes, rec, not for school. I remember an objection, a very hard objection, discussing her teaching for the school. They didn't want that brought up in the trial. It was weird to me that she clarified, like, okay, daughter's basketball coach, okay? Well, rec, for the town, right? So that was weird.
I was a basketball coach for the rec, well, the town program.
Because of my handy dandy notes. When she goes to discuss the events of that Friday night, the hockey team dinner at her house for her oldest daughter, aka she leaves the 20-year-old daughter at home with a bunch of her friends. Obviously they were partying there. Drinks and apps, that's just drinks. Might have a nacho. Someone might get nachos. It's not out to eat, it's not dinner. He asked about what car. She said Denali and then smiled. Notice the trouble she has remembering what kind of car. Notice how she has to kind of be like, oh.
And what kind of car was that?
Denali, Yukon, I think. Denali, yeah.
He had a pool. Like, yes, they came over to swim. I have a pool. Yeah, no, well, what else are they gonna swim in? Of course, yeah. It doesn't need to be stated again after you say it, we know. Then they came over for coffee. I have a coffee machine. I'm guessing you already have a pool if they're coming over to swim.
They came over to the house, they brought the kids, swam. I have a pool.
She stayed in the car when Matt took a phone call instead of going in and being with her friends and family. Not like she was meeting these new people. Her and Matt pulled up to the waterfall. Who was already inside? Her sister's husband, Chris Albert's brother's wife, daughter, Caitlin Albert's butt boy, Tristan Morris. Did she go right in? No. She was waiting until Matt finished the phone call. If Matt's on the phone, why are you in the car? Because she needs to hear everything. She needs to know what's going on. You can't hide anything from Jen. Matt can't hide anything from her. Matt can't hide anything from her. She stayed in the car with him while he took a phone call. Instead of just going in, control, and the need to know.
When you arrived to the waterfall, did you go right in or what, if anything, did you do?
I waited a few minutes because my husband was on a phone call.
She has SCM, selectively convenient memory. There were some things that she was not sure of at all, but then other things she definitely knew. Things that should be more at the forefront of your memory were in the back, she actually couldn't remember them. But things that you would never remember, she, at the waterfall, when Tristan left, he went to go plow. Maybe, I don't know, because maybe he had to go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't sure.
If anyone from the group had left.
I believe Tristan left, maybe to go to sleep because he had to plow, I think.
Oh, what were people drinking? Oh, I might have had a beer. What did John have? I'm presuming a beer. What did Karen have? I don't know, a glass. Oh, the glass. She had the glass.
All specifically what you were drinking?
I think beer.
And same question with regard to Mr. O'Keefe. Do you recall him drinking? And if so, what, if anything, was he drinking?
I can't be certain. Possibly a beer, but I can't be certain.
And with respect to Ms. Reed, same question as far as do you recall her drinking? And if so, what, if anything, do you recall her?
Again, I remember just a clear glass.
That was weird. And Karen walking in with the glass was prompted by Lally. When Karen walked in with Mr. O'Keefe, what, if anything, was there? Was she carrying anything? Was there something, anyone with her? Oh, yes, thank you, you're right. Yeah, glass.
When Mr. O'Keefe and the defendant came over, what, if anything, did you observe the defendant do or have with her when she came?
Oh, she had brought a glass with her and kind of took it out of her coat and just kind of chuckled about it.
Also, what the glass looked like. She remembered it had ridges, but but she had to dive deep into her memory on that one. That one she had to really like channel her. She had to go back. She had to meditate for a second.
What, if anything, did you observe about the glass?
I believe it had ridges on it.
In regards to the waterfall that night, did you speak to Mr. O'Keefe? Yes, briefly at the bar. Why would you speak to him briefly if you guys are such good friends that he calls you to tell you about his new girlfriends? But okay, weird. Do you remember what you spoke about? Yes, he told me about his niece getting into school. Did you talk to Mr. O'Keefe? Yes, briefly. Do you remember what you talked about? Yes, school. Then he goes, did you talk to Miss Reed? Yes. Do you remember what you talked about? Yes.
With respect to the time that you were at the waterfall, did you speak with Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes, briefly at the bar.
And do you recall just generally what it was that you talked about?
Yes, his niece had just gotten into Bishop Fian, so he was very excited.
And with respect to Miss Reed, did you speak to her at the bar?
Yes.
And do you recall what, if anything, the two of you spoke about?
Yes.
And what was it?
This is just the first 16 minutes.